We have a third gold medal winner, which is unusual for the Society. I think you'll see why we added a third, and I want to just give special thanks to David Feinberg, who first proposed this and has done all the legwork to make this happen. This is probably one of the only members of our society who is well known by a simple cartoon shown here from 1953. I think all of you know this analogy. If you have runners on a racetrack and you start a shouting gun and they take off at different speeds, with time they'll be dispersed across the field. But if at some point the starting gun is fired again and they all reverse directions and run at the same speed, then as they approach the starting line, they'll all cross at the same time. Every one of you right now is thinking that's a spin echo, and of course that is. That's a Hahn spin echo. And I'm just really delighted to talk a little bit about Erwin Hahn. It's truly a great honor to introduce our last gold medalist, Erwin Hahn. Dr. Hahn majored in chemistry as an undergraduate at Wanena College, but switched to studying physics in grad school. During World War II, he was a radar and sonar instructor in the Navy. After the war, he returned to graduate studies at University of Illinois, where on his own he developed an NMR instrument. He received his PhD in physics in 1949. He stayed on at Illinois as a postdoc and further modified his instrument to perform pulsed NMR, which was used to discover the spin echo. Erwin Hahn also performed the first diffusion measurement, showed the first FIDs, spin and stimulated echoes. In particular, Dr. Hahn's seminal developments to refocus echoes comprise much of the fundamental basis for the entire field of magnetic resonance imaging and of modern-day NMR spectroscopy. After his seminal paper in 1950, Erwin Hahn received the National Research Council Fellowship, and with it, in 1950, joined Felix Bloch at Stanford in a postdoc position. In 1952, he was an associate of Columbia University, and since then, he has been a consultant to the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission. In 1952, he joined the IBM Watson Scientific Computing Lab as a research physicist and worked on stimulated echo memory devices. He then desired to return to academia, and in 1955 took a physics faculty position at UC Berkeley, and for the most part has remained in the Berkeley Physics Department. He was on sabbatical in 1976 at Max Planck Institute, Heidelberg. As a Guggenheim Fellow and the NSF Fellow, he has spent several sabbatical years at Oxford University, where he has been made an honorary member of Brasenose College, Oxford, and the Eastman Visiting Professor at Balliol College in Oxford. Dr. Hahn has authored many papers in Physics Review and other physics journal and trained 51 PhD students. Professor Hahn has received several awards, including the Humboldt Award from Germany and the Wolf Prize in Physics in 1983. Outside of his physics accomplishments, I'm told he was a gymnast and was known for walking on his hands up the stairs in the Berkeley Physics Department, is an expert juggler and a violinist of chamber music, and a composer of limericks best heard after several drinks. So I was a little nervous about this because there is no way I can give an adequate introduction. But luckily, we have two other sources that you can look to if you want to hear more from him. And I encourage you to explore this. Magnetic Resonance in Medicine Highlights, which has been on our website, has a special issue on Erwin Hahn. And we also have this in print, which is here at the meeting in the exhibition space. So when you're going through there, I encourage you to look for a copy. I think that will be a really special edition. Also, Dr. Hahn was invited to give a keynote lecture at our recent simultaneous multi-slice imaging workshop. And that lecture is available to all members, even if you didn't go to the workshop. So I encourage you to look. It's really fascinating to hear him talk about his early work. So with that, I believe we are set up to talk to Dr. Hahn via Skype. Is this true? So Dr. Hahn, welcome. Can you hear me okay? Dr. Hahn?
Right.
Hi, welcome and congratulations. And we ask that you give us a few words, please.
Well, I'm extremely honored at this most unusual event, particularly when the whole world seems to be monitoring a few things I have to say, which I never dreamed would happen as a young graduating student from the University of Illinois who began NMR when it was invented by Bloch and Purcell. I immediately took up the instrumentation made by Purcell and began to apply radio waves and gated pulses, not knowing that I would uncover a fortune of new phenomena that sustained society today, involving thousands of people, which is unbelievable to me. This is some 66 years ago. I happened to be involved in events of the world without knowing what was going to happen. I was trained as a chemist in a small college to learn how to chemically analyze steel in steel mills. I ended up obtaining a master's degree at Purdue University, and finally, via IBM, ended up in Berkeley. In the course of so doing, I accidentally found, when I went to into the field after my degree, I accidentally found the echo in a slide in which I intended to do a little chemistry, having been a chemistry major at Juniata College, which had a population of 600 students. From then on, as I developed the spin echo by accident and saw in a week about 4 new phenomena, some I understood, some I didn't, I went ahead and had it sponsored by Russell Varian, and today I have now to be grateful for all these people who helped me. I would like to mention specifically David Feinberg, who pointed out the evolution of my ideas are really the basis of what I am stunned to see today. Again, I would like to tender my deepest gratitude for the recognition that has been bestowed upon me. I am speechless, and this is all I can say to match what you've really done for me. Thank you very much to all of you, to the society.